Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure to welcome you this evening to what is the inaugural conversation on issues that all of us have a voice on. We have a thought, we have a concern as well, and that's about urban issues, because we're all directly affected by it. Mind you, this is going to be a conversation, it's not a talk, and it's a joint initiative of ICRIER along with India Habitat Center. In fact, we have been in conversation with Dr. Ahluwalia, and we've been thinking that we need to begin a series like this to share thoughts, share perspectives on urban issues, urban governance, and where the urbanization trends are heading. And this conversation, this series, is as a consequence of those discussions, and it's happening now. We hope that we can continue these conversations with different experts from parts of the country, maybe from overseas, but that depends as we go along. But Dr. Ahluwalia very kindly agreed to anchor this first conversation. She has been, as you all know, writing extensively, traveling on these various missions in the country to look at the experiments and practices that are happening in different cities. She's documented them. 2 books of her just released in the last fortnight. One on urbanization along with co-authors, and the other one on transformation of our cities, which was a collection of the columns that she wrote in the Indian Express, was released just 2 days ago. And therefore, the best person qualified to begin this series. As I mentioned, this will be a participative conversation. While Dr. Ahluwalia has agreed that she would preface the participative and interactive discussions with remarks from her side, but essentially it's about trying to get the citizens' perspective in. It's about getting what people think, what kind of a city life we are experiencing, what kind of a city life we'd like to aspire to. Because urbanization is what is happening, something which is unstoppable, which is going to happen perhaps at an increasing pace, and therefore planners, policymakers, decision makers, implementers, everybody has to get together to make sure that we somehow stay ahead of the volumes, which so far hasn't been, unfortunately, the case. We're always behind volumes. Anything we build, we create, is overtaken by populations. And we need to find very quick answers to be able to stay ahead of the volumes, and happen to do it. We need to do it in very near future at a very fast rate. As I mentioned, this is a joint initiative with ICRIER, and Dr. Ahluwalia is going to be the anchor leading this conversation today. Pleasure to welcome you, and thank you, Dr. Ahluwalia, for making this possible. And I know your passion for these issues. We've been in talks throughout on this, and it's somehow happened after 4 months of intense conversations that we need to begin to make this happen in the city at least. And that's how we are here. Pleasure to welcome you. And before Dr. Ahluwalia prefaces this conversation with the remarks, I'd like to request Rajat Kathuria, Dr. Rajat Kathuria, who is the Director and Chief Executive of ICRIER, to say a few words on this occasion. Dr. Rajat.
Thank you, Mr. Lebaran, Dr. Ahluwalia. Very warm welcome to all of you this evening. It's a pleasure to see so many of you at the inaugural conversation between ICRIER and Habitat on a topic that is of immense interest to all of us. As Mr. Libran just said, we've never been ahead of the volumes. And I guess in urbanization, all the numbers are such that, and Dr. Ahluwalia will perhaps talk about some of those numbers, and they are, the magnitude is monumental.